this morning's Business Insight, we told you earlier about the Hamilton County Appeals Court decision to allow the city to follow through on its plan to lease its parking garages, lots, and meters. Business Courier reporter Chris Wederick has been following the story all week. He joins us now with some perspective. Welcome, Chris. Good to have you with us.
Thanks, Brian. It's great to be here.
Originally, they talked about plugging the holes in the budget with the revenue that would come from this deal, but the balanced budget for this year means that changes. Where would they spend the money now? What's the focus?
Well, there has been a major shift among the people that support this plan. They, particularly Vice Mayor Qualls, who of course is running for the mayor's job herself. She kind of sees this as now being a source for long-term projects. She wants to do stuff like the apartment tower at 4th and Race. She wants to prop up the city's pension fund, and she wants to bolster the fund balance, the reserves that the city has. So there's a movement away from using this as a budget gap plug and doing bigger projects with it.
But now there's some of the council members who had originally approved this that are now wanting to pull back on it. Who are they and why?
Well, the main person who changed their mind is Lori Quinlivan. She changed her mind because she looked at the budget and said, look, we have a balanced budget now. Maybe we can look at this parking deal again and maybe get a better deal. One of the things she wants to do and pointed out was the parking meter lease plan calls for the meters to be into effect until 9 o'clock Monday through Saturday. Right now, most of them are into effect until 6 o'clock at night. She wants to pull that back to 6 o'clock so that people don't have to pay for meters at night. So that's just one aspect that they think they might get a better deal on.
We heard the mayor earlier, though, say this is going to move forward as is. So even if there's like 5 votes on council,
there's a majority
to pull it back, what's the mayor's role in all that?
Well, it's funny. The mayor had a kind of a funny quote, but also kind of a politically telling quote. He said, "It takes 5 votes to do something the mayor wants to do. It takes 6 to do something he doesn't want to do."
Aha.
And they do not have 6 votes at this point.
So he would veto.
Right. He said he would. His implication was that it wasn't even going to come forward, that he would bottle it up in a committee or something. But if it did reach a vote, that he would veto it. Yes.
So the big difference for the city is rather than collecting parking revenue over the years, it would get a chunk of money now. What about for people who park? Whether or not this goes through, are we going to notice a big difference?
It's going to be a subtle difference. I mean, I think it's $92 million in revenue. The downtown meters are going to stay at $2 an hour initially, and then they will go up 25 cents every 3 years is what the city has said. So they're going to notice some differences, and I think even if the deal wasn't being done, the city is looking for revenue, and they might have seen increased rates anyway.
Some critics say this is just a short-term solution. So what do you think about that? I mean, is it really something that should be thought out more thoroughly before it's enacted?
I'm not sure. I think that you kind of have to see what we're going to have a new council and a new mayor next year.
That's true.
And so this is going to be a pot of money that will be available to them. If they want to use it for the budget, I think there's going to be a lot of criticism for it because you don't want to spend all of this upfront money in the 2 years that you have it when this is a deal that will take 30 years to really come to completion. So I think that the critics might not be as, as vocal if they were using it for long-term projects. But we'll see whether that happens. I mean, we're going to go through an election and probably have a big debate on this.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a big issue. Chris, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
We'll read your story in the print edition and online. Chris Wederick with the Business Courier.